One local organization is making sure no one gets left behind when winter storms strike. The Arc of the Mid-Ohio Valley shares essential preparation tips for people with disabilities. Keeping in contact with friends and neighbors is the most important safety tip to prepare yourself for severe weather, said Doug Hess. Hess, Chief Operating Manager for Arc of the Mid-Ohio Valley, said it's important to call the power company to be put on a priority list should your power go out if you rely on medical equipment that requires electricity. Call your primary care physician to ensure you have refills for your medications. Hess said to have an additional refill on hand if possible to avoid running out.
I think one thing that's important is to talk to your neighbors or your friends and kind of have a communication system. You check on them, have them check on you. And if you're going somewhere, let people know. So if you decide, hey, I'm going to go out and shovel the snow, that someone knows that. So if you don't come back in 15 minutes and something happened, you slip and fell or something worse, that you're not laying out there on the ground for an hour and no one even knew you were out there. So I think communicating with your family and friends now and keeping up that communication is going to be vital during this weekend.
Has said it might be helpful to print out cards detailing your medical information if you don't have access to your usual communication device. He suggested people use the 211 resource provided by United Way for non-emergency needs and also disaster support.